father was a detective investigating missing children in Omaha. After he died, I found his body cam footage. The moment before my father died, he grabbed my arm so hard his nails dug into my skin and whispered something that still haunts me. At the time, I thought maybe the cancer had finally taken his mind. Now I know it hadn't. I watched as the light faded from my father's eyes. The hospital machines made one last ticking noise before settling into complete silence. His chest rose and lowered one last time. His dark sunken eyes settled onto mine before he passed. Even in death, he still looked afraid. There in the dark I stayed seated, with no one to comfort me, hoping my mother would answer my call. My father, who I won't name, had no other family, no one to depend on. The few times I'd met him growing up weren't pleasant. He always seemed distracted, like he was never really there in the room with you. His eyes had this way of drifting toward the floor mid-conversation, like he was listening to something coming up through it. I supposed I shouldn't have been surprised. My mother had said he had a mental breakdown, that he was no longer safe to be around. Back then, it had taken him weeks to realize we were even gone. There were days he would lock himself in his own office and no one would see him till the next morning. I may not have known him well and I was honestly kind of afraid of him, but I still cared for him. To see someone go like that, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. His last dying moments were soaked in a fear I didn't yet understand. His words repeated in the back of my mind over and over again. None of it made sense. Not then, at least. Looking back at it now, I wish he never said them. To die in silence would have been better. Before death had taken him from this world and into the next, he looked at me with fear and anger. His lips trembled as the words parted from his mouth. I can hear them. They're still down there. All those lights. The emptiness. I tried. A tear gently rolled down his face. The heart monitor beeped louder. I really tried. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'll... His last breath left his mouth with his eyes settled on mine. He was deranged, Alex. My mother scoffed on the other line. Look, whatever he did or whatever he said, just forget about it. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't concern you. What about his apartment? I said. I stepped outside the hospital and looked up at the stars. It was 1 a.m, and I could tell my mother wasn't sleeping. She had ignored my calls earlier. What about it? She hissed. Well, maybe there's something there that would explain whatever he was talking about. He gave me his keys. He gave you his keys? She sounded annoyed. What else was he supposed to do? Let the apartment complex take his stuff? Guess that makes up for all the years of not being your father. I rolled my eyes. Like you didn't run away from him after all these years. You never gave him the chance to redeem himself before his death. Still, she had a point, but none of that mattered. Not now, she continued.